Here's a pretty song from Dylan's Blood on the Tracks album. In fact, he wrote and recorded every song, I think, in open D tuning originally, then re-recorded about half of them. So the remaining recordings, about half of them on the album, are in open D tuning, but you can look with the official bootleg releases, you can find all the tracks in an open D version. I'm going to give you a standard tuning version of the chords first of all, and then we'll switch it up with an open D version, which might be a bit more interesting. But for now, I'm just going to play it in standard tuning, and it's in E. So we have an E chord, and then after a couple of bars, we get this. Now I'm playing E major 7. The note on the 2nd fret of the 4th string is being moved down to the 1st fret of the 4th string. That's all that's happening there. That's E major 7. The next chord we're going to get is E7, so that same note is now moved down to the open 4th string. 2 bars each of those, and then we go to an A. So it's like this. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. I've gone to A, now I've got an A minor. 'Twas then he felt alone. Now we go from E back up to A. And wished that he'd gone straight. And finally, this is all there is, we get an E. Watched out for a, and then something called B11. I'm going to play a B7 chord, and I'm just going to take the little finger that's on the 2nd fret of the top string and move it down to the 2nd fret of the 2nd string instead. I'm going to include the open top string. Watched out for a simple twist of fate. Okay, from the top. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. A minor now. 'Twas then he felt alone. E to A. And wished that he'd gone straight. Watched out for a simple twist of fate. They walked along by the old canal, a little confused, I remember it well. So every verse after that runs exactly the same way. So that's it in standard tuning. Let's look at it in the original version though, which is open D. I happen to have a guitar tuned in open D. In fact, I've got a capo on the 2nd fret because we're going to retain the actual key of E. So my tuning here is D for the bottom string, an octave below the open 4th string, and D, and then an A as usual, D as usual. The note that would normally be tuned as G, the string that would be tuned as G, is now F sharp, and the B string is now an A, more or less, and then the top string is also a D. So I've changed the pitch of the bottom string and the top string and the 2nd string and the 3rd string, and I've just left the 5th and 4th strings as they would normally be. That gives me a lovely resonant 6-string D chord, and if I put a capo on the 2nd fret, I've got an open tuning here based on an E. Now I'll put the chord shapes up on the screen, but that's now the same E chord as we had before, effectively same pitch, but that's how we play that in this tuning. And in fact, he doesn't play an open string, open chord. He plays it like this. Okay, I'm going to call this D because I'm going to refer to these as the shapes they are rather than the sounding pitch. There's my D, and the notes that we had changing E, E major 7, E7, they were on the 4th string. Now they're on the 5th string. 5th fret. They sat together in the park, and now they're down to the 4th fret. As the evening sky grew dark, 3rd fret. She looked at him and he felt a spark, and this is how we play our G chord. Tingle to his bones, and a G minor up here. 'Twas then he felt alone. And to get from D to G, which is what it now is, I'm going to play my D, and wished, and then I'm going to place a finger on the 4th fret of the bottom string to make D over F sharp. And wished that he'd gone, and my G is going to be barred across all 6 strings at the 5th fret. So that's the nifty bit. And he wished that he'd gone straight. One more time. And then we round off. Watched out for and my A11. Simple twist, which is just like a displaced D7 shape or something. Or a simple twist of fate. So the whole thing. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. But then he fell alone and wished that he'd gone straight. Watched out for a simple twist of fate. That's another verse. They walked along by the old canal, a little confused, I remember it well, and stopped into a strange hotel with a neon burning light. He felt the heat of the night hit him like a freight train, moving with a simple twist of fate. Seems a shame to stop. Anyway, that is it.